Hey there, Patriots. So in Unit 0, Lesson 1, we're going to talk about measures of central tendencies and quartiles. By the end of this lesson, I will be able to expect all of you guys to find the mean, median, mode, min, max, and quartiles of a data set. So when I say measures of central tendency, that's just a phrase I just threw out right here in our title. What are we talking about? Let's highlight that. So when we are given a data set, so the measures of central tendency, when we start looking at that, measures of central tendencies, we like to use one number to represent the entire data set. So a measure of central tendency is one number to represent an entire data set. How tall is everybody in the class? Well, they're about 5 foot tall. How old is everybody in the class? They're about 15 years old. That's a measure of central tendency. Now we have 3 measures of central tendency we are going to look at in this class. The first one is called mean. So the mean of a data set is the average of that data set, the arithmetic average. You may have just heard average, that's what we can call it. So to find the mean of the data set, add the data pieces together and then divide that sum by the items in the data set. So we are going to add the data pieces together. That's the sum. And then divide that sum by the number of items in the data set. That's this number on bottom. All right, so if I give you this short little data set, it has just a few values here. Let's find the mean of that data set. All right, so the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to say what I'm finding. I am finding the mean. To find the mean, I'm going to make a fraction, and I am going to add up all these pieces of data. Plus 17, plus 19, plus 20, plus 22. Now, what I like to do is I'm going to count the number of pieces of data it gave me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to make sure I got all 7 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to divide by that many pieces. Boom. Oh, I think it jumped way up to the top. It does. I don't know why it does that, but it does. All right, so let's bring this down. So to find the mean, I'm going to add up all those values and then divide by 7. All right, so when I do that, let's see what I get. Boom, let's see what I get. So in my calculator, I'm going to put in 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 19 plus 20 plus 22. I'm going to divide that by 7, and that gives me 17.85714,286. Now it just kept going on and on and on and on and on. So I don't want all of these. Let's go to 2 decimal places. So I want to know that 5 right there. So when I'm looking at this one, should it stay 17.85 or should it become 17.86? Well, the 7 is 5 or more, so this becomes 86, and I get rid of the rest of those numbers. Boom. Let's just get rid of this, make it nice. So my mean is 17.86. Nice. Well, that's only one measure of central tendency. There are other ones. Frequently, we like the mode of a data set. The mode of a data set are the values that repeat the most. Notice I said is are. So mode, value or values that repeat the most. We can have no mode, we can have one mode, we can have multiple modes. Now, no mode means no numbers repeat more than once. No numbers repeat at any time. One mode is one number repeats more than any other times, and multiple modes will have 2 or 3 values that repeat the same number of times. Okay, so if we look back at our data set, here's our data set. Let's find the mode of this data set. Well, which of these values repeats the most often? And when I look, we have 115, we have 2 16s, and then nothing else repeats. So my mode is 16. 16 happens the most often. So the mode for the data set is 16. It happens twice. Let's highlight that. There we go. What is the minimum of a data set? Now, minimum is not a measure of central tendency because it's not the number that would use to describe the entire data set, because the minimum of a data set is the smallest value. So the smallest value in this data set is 15. So that is not a measure of central tendency because it is just the smallest number. It's not one. I wouldn't ever use minimum to describe the entire data set. Boom. On the other end, we have maximum. So the maximum of a data set, or max, is the largest value in that data set. So here I'd be looking at this and I'd say it's the number 22. So my maximum value is 22. There we go. Now, median is a measure of central tendency, just like mean and mode. So the median of a piece of data is a set of data, is the middle data point of the set. But before you do this, you have to make sure the data has been ordered from least to greatest. If the middle of the data is a space, find the 2 numbers on each side of that space. Okay, so I find the easiest way to do that. So to find the space that I am looking for, what I am going to do is I am going to take the item of numbers, n, that's the number n, I'm going to add 1, and then I'm going to divide that all by 2. Okay, so to find the median, the spot of the median, I'm going to find how many items there are, that's n. I'm going to add the number 1, and then I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. So I'm going to add 7 to 1. 7 plus 1, divide that by 2. So 7 plus 1 is 8. I got this. There we go. I got 8. I'm going to divide that by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So what this means is the 4th item is the median. That's what this is telling me. The 4th item is the median. So I am looking for the 4th item. Since it's a straight up whole number, it's an integer. It's a whole number, an integer right there. The 4th item is the median. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my median is 17. Because notice it cuts the data set right in half. 3 and 3. Didn't want that. I wanted this. So my median is 17. The middle value of this entire data set is the number 17. Now, if this had been a fraction, that would have been a space to cut it in half. There would have been an even number of data points. Now, after you find median, it's going to behoove us to find the quartiles. So the first quartile of the data set, Q1, so my first quartile, Q1, is the middle value of the numbers to the left of the median. Again, if the middle of the data is a space, then find the mean of the two numbers on each side of that space. Alrighty, so we said 17 was my median. If you look, and we are, there are 3 pieces of data to the left. There are 3 pieces of data to the right, but we're looking at first quartile, so that's this one. That lets me know the middle value is right here. That is Q1. So my first quartile is the number 16. Boom. Because now I've cut my data. Look, there's 1 to the left, there's 1 to the right. The first quartile is right in the middle. Easy enough. And then the last term we're going to learn today is what we call third quartile or upper quartile. The third quartile, Q3, upper quartile of a data set is the middle value of the numbers to the right of the median. If the middle value is a space, find the numbers. I'm going to show you that here in our lessons. So if we said here's the median, here are the numbers to the right. We want to find the value in the middle. Look, there's 1, 2, 3 of those numbers. The number in the middle is the number 20. So my third quartile is 20. Boom. What's third? I don't know why I put an F there. Get rid of that F. That doesn't make any sense. Alrighty, here we go. Third quartile is 20. Alrighty, so I know that was just a quick look at everything. I hope you copied in your notes because your teacher may or may not be collecting your homework packet, this assignment packet, to make sure you've got your notes done on test day, and that'll go into our participation category. So if you have any questions, you need to see another slide, please let your teacher know. They will gladly back it up. And Patriots, we will see you when we see you.